It's a big welcome to UFC Fight Week Australia, to the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC bantamweight champion of the world, Julianna Pena. Tell me, it's been a week now. Are you tired of hearing that yet?
Nope, it's been almost a week and I still have not gotten used to it, and it will never be tired.
Yeah, I can't imagine it ever will. Julianna, you defeated a fighter who many believe to be the greatest of all time in Amanda Nunes. How is life as champion since then? A lot more media requests, people recognizing you on the street, I imagine?
Yeah, but truth be told, I've kind of been like staying indoors. I haven't been going out too much. I mean, I've had a doctor's appointment and I went out to a lunch one time, but I've just been staying indoors. It's really been back to normal mom life for me. I'm waking up at 6:30 and taking my daughter to school. I just got done mopping the floors. So I've just been busy staying at home and just hanging out like a regular mom life.
Mommy.
Penguin.
Tell him that my dad is a police officer.
She wants you to know that her dad is a police officer.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's a big welcome to young Issa as well. Thanks so much for joining us.
Say hi.
Julianna, you had the world on its feet. I'm sure you've heard the stories of people in pubs and bars and lounge rooms going absolutely nuts with what they were seeing. I mean, we think of Matt Serra and GSP, we think of Bisping and Rockhold, we think of Ronda and Holly Holm. This is right up there. How does it feel to have been involved in a moment that'll go down in history as one of the greatest ever?
To me, it's a special feeling, and it's one of those that, you are so obviously proud you have achieved. But for me, it's not a fluke. It's not something that I feel like is just a one and done thing. I want that chance to get back in there and just prove once again that it wasn't just something that happened on its own, or that happened because Amanda was tired or Amanda didn't show up or Amanda quit. This was absolutely 110% the result of my hard work and determination. And I just want a chance to show that again. I'm not content with, getting the belt on Saturday night. I want to go talk about present and what is going to happen moving forward in the future.
Well, it's good that you mentioned that, and we'll get to your performance in just a moment. But before we do so, Julianna, you are the first fighter in the UFC to give birth and subsequently become champion. I mean, that is an incredible achievement. I know some people misunderstood you when you were celebrating that, but I think most people got what you were saying. But that is quite remarkable. How proud does that make you feel of not only yourself, but the example that you're setting to mums everywhere that you can do anything?
Yeah, I'm very proud. I saw that, and I think I posted out those videos of Amanda being a mother as well, and seeing that her little baby comes from such a loving home. I absolutely didn't mean to say by any means that she's not a mom champ. She absolutely is. I was just saying, if they were going to give her a mom champ belt, then I definitely think that I have earned my belt too. But with that being said, moms are incredible. We're the givers of life. We literally are the neck that makes things turn, So without women, I mean, it's just such a pride thing for me. Like, I'm so proud to be a woman. I'm so proud to have been, the first birth mother to be a champion, and just to even have my daughter by my side the whole week is honestly such an incredible feeling. And it makes me very proud to know that other mothers are inspired by my accomplishments and by the work that I've done.
And speaking of, that clip of young Issa hugging Amanda's daughter Regan at the weigh-ins with Julie Poirier and young Parker in the background has to be one of the most wholesome clips of the year, does it not?
Yeah, it was super cute. It was a moment that I'll never forget.
Well, let's talk about the fight, Julianna. You've mentioned the arm lock that you had in the first round, but in that second round is when you really took it to her. Before the submission, you were really piecing her up on the feet. You realized a lot of success with that left jab over and over again. And some people have argued that Amanda seemed overly reliant on her power. I know you were confident going into this fight, Julianna, but were you at all surprised at how one-dimensional Amanda Nunes seemed in there?
No, not at all. Honestly, that's the hardest I've ever been hit, and those leg kicks really hurt me. A lot of her shots were very powerful. They were the strongest that I have ever felt. She is the GOAT for a reason, and she is, considered and still will always be considered the greatest of all time. So I literally took those shots and I thought, holy cow, I just got hit by, a Mack truck. And I knew, though, that I had to weather the storm in order to keep the grind on her and to get the win. And so I wasn't deterred at all by the power that I felt. I knew that I just had to continue to fight my fight and stick to my game plan, and that I would be okay in the end.
You certainly did weather the storm, and I think that speaks to the strength of your mentality. Amanda's resilience, however, has come into question since that fight. She seemed to tap really quickly, for instance. She wasn't even flattened out. You didn't even have your hooks in. But even to get into that position, Dana, in his post-fight press conference, questioned her conditioning. What do you make of how quickly Amanda Nunes gassed?
I think that she had 2 fights her entire camp leading up to this fight. Her first fight was going to be her weight cut and trying to get her body back down to fighting at bantamweight. And her second fight was going to be on me. Whereas I only had 1 fight the entire time. And that was me focusing on just Amanda, not having to make weight, not having to make such a drastic weight cut was something that, I never had to take into consideration during my camp. I am a natural 135er. So I knew that she was going to be struggling to make that weight, and that was going to be her first battle that she had to overcome. With that being said, yeah, she was gassed after the first, and I could hear that. I could feel it. I could, just hear that heavy breathing in my ear. And so I knew that was, like I've been saying the whole time, that was the key to success there, is just to wear her out, just to get her tired.
Well, Julianna, there is a new champion atop the 135ers, and it is you. And I don't think anyone's doubting you at the moment, so definitely enjoy this moment. I mentioned before, Julianna, that I don't think anyone's ever going to forget what you did last week. That moment will go down forever. I feel like if you were to retire tomorrow, for instance, that would still be enough for people. Like, you would still be a legend in everyone's mind. I don't imagine that you feel the same way, though. How much has that belt inspired you to create your own legacy atop the division?
It was cute. Like I said in the press conference, hey, if I get a belt at the end of the night, that's cute, but that's not what my idea is. That's not what is going to make me happy. Having a belt and being a champion, there's more to life, than being a champion. And that belt and holding that belt, like I was trying to say before, is not indicative of who I am as a person. I believe I'm a champion. I believe I've always been a champion. And I believe that it was just a matter of time until I got that belt. So when I did get it, it was almost like the shine was gone, because I was like, what's next? I got 16 diamonds on this belt and I have only 1 ruby. And so I got 15 more rubies that I need to track down. I'm trying to go out there and get as many rubies as possible and fill this belt up. And that right there is my legacy. That's what I want to focus on. And that's what I want to, talk about moving forward, is how can I get that ruby on my belt?
Julianna, I feel like you're on the cusp of legendary status right now. Like, for instance, if you were to go down and take Valentina's belt, or you were to go up and take Amanda's other belt, or defend the belt that you currently have against either of them, I feel like that makes you automatic, like, MMA royalty at that point. No disrespect to Cyborg or Ronda or anybody, but that's almost an automatic podium spot if you were to defeat 2 of the best ever, right? Do you feel like you're on the cusp of something legendary right now?
I definitely do. And I think that it stems from the fact that I have gotten in there with literally the best in the world every single time. When the division opened in 2013, I was right there winning the Ultimate Fighter. I continued my career even with devastating injuries and even with taking time out to start a family. So I've been, steady in this MMA game for such a long time that I feel there's so much more to be done. But knowing that, the 2 losses that I've suffered in the last 10 years are to champions, to Valentina Shevchenko and Jermaine Durandiman, to know that I've gotten in there with the best. Nico Montano hadn't lost in, many years, and silver Olympic wrestler Sarah McMahon, all of these girls that I'm fighting her have been at the top of the division when they were in the division. Like Kat Zingano, she was at the peak of her career when I fought her. And I feel like with, knowing that I have gotten in there with the best fighters in the world, it just makes me so much more confident that there's so much more that can be achieved now that I've learned from those mistakes in the past, and knowing that I've only fought the best of the competition that there is.
Yeah, and you should definitely be proud of that, Julianna. Well, what is next? I mean, you mentioned in the post-fight press conference that you'll fight whoever the company wants you to fight, but you're the champ now. Who does the champ want to fight?
Yeah, there's a lot of emotions flying after a fight. You know what I mean? You start putting foots in mouths and stuff like that. I think for me, I was just more so focused on getting a rematch. And if Amanda wants a rematch, giving her that rematch. That was kind of my initial thought. Of course, you know, I like to be a company gal, but they also said, well, you're the champ now. You can decide. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I am the champ. I can decide. I've earned it. So for me, it's kind of just like enjoy myself, enjoy this moment, bask in the sunlight for 5 minutes and you know, enjoy time with my daughter and spend time with my family during the holidays. And then once the holidays clear, you know, we'll figure something out. I'm sure the UFC brass will be ringing me up and we can talk, you know, we can talk what's going on in the future. Definitely.
Well, someone who's been in the headlines a little bit recently, Kayla Harrison, PFL lightweight champion and Olympic gold medalist. There's been a bit of back and forth between the two of you on social media. She even said on TMZ that you should be careful what you say with the B-League's comment, and also that she'd finish you with one arm. Your response to Kayla Harrison?
It just cracks me up. I saw an interview that she said that she ain't playing no games and stuff like that. She's not one to play games, but I thought that was hilarious to me because Bilal Muhammad had me and her on his podcast and we played like a Jeopardy MMA game. We played the game and I won. I smoked her in the game. And she was salty after that because then the next day she went out and made a bet versus Bilal Muhammad, saying that if she lost the bet, which would mean that Amanda won the fight against me, that she would sing a karaoke song of Bilal's choice. And so since I won, I'm waiting to sit front row so that I can hear Kayla Harrison sing me this song. You know, I want to hear the song. She said she would sing the song. She lost the bet fair and square. She says she doesn't play no games. Sounds like that's all she plays to me. You know what I mean? Making bets and losing on these Jeopardy, you know, podcast game shows. So I ain't buying it, you know, and if she wants to pack up her stuff and bring it on over here, come on with it, girl.
Yeah, I think we'd all be keen to see that karaoke result. Julianna, what's the plan for Christmas?
I'm going to go back home to Spokane, Washington. I'm going to go visit my family and friends and go take the belt back home to where I'm from, my hometown of Spokane, Washington, and just enjoy my time with my family. I know they're so excited for me. They're so happy for me. All my friends and family are just waiting for me to get over there so that we can, you know, properly celebrate.
Well, Julianna Pena, you're a UFC legend. Congratulations once again. It's so well deserved. We thank you so much for your time here on Fox Sports Australia and have a great Christmas.
Thank you, Niko. I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.